yourself lost, you cannot fail. Try it forever, you cannot do. Give yourself lost and try it forever. Try it forever and do it again. Self lost, you can feel it. Give yourself lost, you can do it. Give yourself lost and try it forever. Night told you are so big. Night told you are so sick. Night told you are everywhere. Night told you are so black. Give yourself lost and do it again. Give yourself lost, you cannot do. Give yourself lost and try it forever. Try it forever, you can do. Give yourself lost, you cannot feel it. Feel it again and do it again. Night told you are so big. Night told you are so sick. Night told you are everywhere. Night told you are so black. Give yourself a last and do it again. Give yourself a last, you cannot do. Give yourself a last and try it forever. Give yourself a last, you cannot feel. Give yourself a last and do it again. Do it again, you cannot do. Night told you are so big. Night told you are so sick. Night told you are everywhere. Night told you are so black. Give yourself a last and do it again. Give yourself a last, you cannot do. Give yourself a last and try forever. Try forever, you cannot do. Give yourself a last and try it again. Try it again, you cannot do.
On the middle floors, I get cracked and now it roars. Sleazy yacht deck, blood and cracks, I wrist, rage behind those eyes. Just with drinks, they laugh, they sway. Feline fury joins the fray. Businessman with greedy grin, unaware of coming sin. Wild chaos, claws and teeth. Pandemonium beneath. Virus spreads through yacht tonight. Cat's revenge, a savage fight. Young and blind, they scream and run. Party ends, no more fun. Blood and fur, a violent dance. On this vessel, no more chance. Scientists search with alarms. Infected beast brings deadly harms. High seas echo with the terror. Yacht's a nightmare, no one's fairer. Deals and whispered lies underneath the moonless skies. Iris cat in blackness prowls, world's unfair cry and howl. Just with tricks they laugh, they slay. Feline fury joins the fray. Businessman with greedy grin, unaware of coming sin. Wild chaos, claws and teeth. Pandemonium beneath. Pandemonium beneath virus bites. Young and blind, they scream and run. Party ends, no more fun. Party ends, no more fun. Fun is blood and sin. While they are claws and teeth, and lonely, lonely. Virus spread through your tonight. Cast revenge, a savage fight. Young and blind, they scream and run. Party ends, no more fun. Plotting for a violent dance. On this vessel, no more chance. Cast revenge, a savage fight. Fight. Young and blind, they scream and run. Party ends, no more fun. Party ends, no more fun. Blooded for a violent dance. On this vessel, no more chance.
Wow. So much to say about Death Ship and our second feature of the night, Uninvited. Oh, wait, you're not unmuted yet. Sorry, Sam.
It's all right.
There we go.
I really enjoyed Death Ship. Yeah, it's a little bit of a slow start, but it gets into it. Stuff happens. Why would you have sex on the Death Ship is probably the most important question that Bill and I have to ask.
They were screwing everywhere. They screwed on the cruise ship. They screwed on the Death Ship. I bet they were going to screw on that life raft, probably.
Yeah, well, everybody's around watching them. They're like, guys, could you just maybe not? Like, I know some people, when confronted by death, the big death, want to have the little death. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of how they deal with it.
I sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she ended up in a blood shower and then thrown overboard by George Kennedy, and he ended up in that like net full of dead bodies.
Oh.
What happened to him? I mean, like, it crushed it. I think the implication was that it crushed him somehow, but it couldn't have. I don't know.
Who's to say?
Don't ask too many questions.
No, I think Death Ship's just an allegory.
What is it really saying?
What do we really want Death Ship to be about, guys?
What's the subtext of Death Ship?
Yeah, I think the foreign investors were like, we like the movie that you've made, but could they have more sex? Could they? And I'm just saying, I know this is a ship of a Teutonic War Commandos. See, I didn't say the name that got us kicked off last time. Don't. I know that this is what this ship is like, but what if these two kids had sex all the time? What is going on? Krana, why did you bring your family on this ship, this whole trip?
It was a bad decision, a very bad decision, and somehow they ended up scot-free.
I like at the end when that guy's like, "Oh, everybody looks great. They look great. They haven't been through anything."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're in good shape. Well, my question is, are they going to sue the cruise liner once they get back? Because they all survived, so like they could sue on behalf of all the people that were killed by the crash and then the Death Ship.
Yeah, that's what I would think. What a horrible vacation, right? You come back and you got to tell people at work, how was your vacation? We got on a Death Ship.
The kids enjoyed it.
I mean, the kids loved it.
Look at the adventure that they had. He gets up in the middle of the night to go pee. They end up lost on the Death Ship. George Kennedy, manhandles them a little bit, but then,
that's what you want. These kids are lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can throw me overboard anytime.
George Kennedy. He's grandpa hot.
Yeah. He's in the next one too. I love in the next movie. Like if you're a drug dealer and you're hiring a bodyguard, what's your first thought? George Kennedy. Okay.
He took a lot of abuse in this movie.
He takes a lot in the next one too. This is Vincent. We really said this is like a Ghost Galleon kind of movie where you hear that
we were going to get there.
Yeah, we're going to get there. Nobody in this movie was like, we got this sporting goods store and we need a PR stunt. What if, and I'm just saying, what if we acted like our ship was broken down and all of a sudden the Blind Dead came and everybody
I would have loved Death Ship from the start if the Blind Dead had come out of boxes.
How do they still get a radio channel when they're on the other dimension of the Blind Dead ship?
I don't know. They're still there somehow.
Either like a pocket dimension. I need to know these answers. Yeah. Steve, I agree. There has to be a morning after. And I guess that's the end of this movie. Everything worked out just fine for everybody. That kid is never going to get up. He's going to pee his pants next time instead of just getting up and peeing. Just stay in bed and pee.
And probably he'll get over it when he's in his 40s.
Yeah. It'll take a couple years. I can imagine anyone.
You have to get up and pee.
Yeah, they'll date them and they'll be like, someone will date them. They'll be like, why don't you get out of bed and pee? Why do you wet the bed in your 30s? Well, my father took us on this vacation and we ended up on
long story.
And we ended up on this horrible ship, which I can't say the name of because I don't want to end another segment. And they're on it. So anyway, yeah, Death Ship. Maybe don't take a cruise. I went on one cruise in my life and it was horrible. Oh, Bill left the broad. It said you left the broadcast, Bill. Now it says you joined it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my connection tonight.
Oh.
I don't think that was the problem the first time around.
No. Anyways, yeah, I took one cruise ship once and it was not fun. I'll never
go.
We went to Baltimore and out of Baltimore down to like Jamaica and a bunch of places around there. I don't know. I didn't know I was going and it was like a surprise and it was all my money that paid for it.
Wow.
And my ex-wife like took out a new credit card in my name to pay for it. And it took me a long time to pay it off. Because I don't like taking vacations. And she's like, well, Sam will really enjoy this. And I thought when I was on the boat, at what point in my life did I ever say, I love going to other countries. I love going to countries that remind me of the Isle of Matul. And I'm just a grump. I'm just a half a pervert and a grump. And I did not want to be there, but I made the most of it. I went to the gym every day. That was my excitement. And then I like jogged on the ship and watched the coastline. I had a red stripe in Jamaica. How cheesy is that?
I couldn't handle it.
No.
I could not. It would be like being in jail for a week or however long you're on the cruise. God forbid it would be longer than a week.
It was a week, and the first night you eat with the same people every night. Somehow someone thought my name was Steve. I never corrected them. So then after that, every night I was just Steve. And she's like, I was too polite to correct them. And it taught me something. If someone says your name wrong the first time, tell them what your name is because you're going to spend a week answering to Steve, and then you don't know who you are anymore.
Sometimes you think you are still Steve, don't you?
That's my cruise name. On the cruise, I am Steve. I'm Steve. I like foods that I don't like normally, and now I'm on the cruise.
Is Steve different than you?
Yeah, he is. He's a little more easygoing.
Who in your life would you say Steve is like?
Compare
him to somebody.
Boy, I don't know. Steve's a unique cat. I haven't connected with Steve in a while. I have a lot of other S names of me. You know, there's Shirley Doe and Steve. They're all like different aspects of me.
When you said cat, I was thinking an animal. Like
I was talking like I was Sammy Davis Jr. Like
Cat Stevens.
Oh yeah, no. My mom has a cat named Cat Stevens though, which is interesting. She also has a cat whose name is I can't remember what this cat's name is, but for the longest time she thought it was a boy and it turned out to be a girl. This is not the first time this has happened with one of my mom's pets. And she's like, oh, I never realized.
When I was growing up, my aunt's cat was just named Stevens.
Oh, Stevens.
You just had to get it, you know.
Yeah.
Death Ship was surprisingly clean. I'll say it was dirty in the places where they wanted it to be spooky, but
yeah,
somehow that shower, first of all, it was way too modern.
I'm not getting in that shower.
Oh no, but I mean, I would get in that shower because it was spotless. It was like, and the water that came out was clean. It wasn't all rusty or anything.
Yeah.
So,
How does the Death Ship keep rolling?
But
does the Death Ship run on the blood of the people it kills? Like George Kennedy. Ground up in the ears. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, check out that panel that's all lit up right now.
Ooh.
The 19 yearbook, the brand new issue of Drive-In Asylum. Go get it at the Drive-In Asylum or the Groovy Doom Etsy shop.
Yeah. Look how nice that looks. Wow.
Yeah, you like it?
I love it. I can't wait. I've been looking for it for a long time. A lot of people are into Steve.
Everyone
I
has.
should have never brought up Steve. Now everybody wants to know about Steve.
Well, yeah, I'm intrigued. I mean, like, does Steve ever make you do things?
No, he never does. Steve's gone. Steve's been gone for like 15 years, maybe more. I was only Steve for a week. It was like a spy name.
Steve for a week.
Steve for a week. Steve, when you go on those cruises, you get a cup. It's extra. It's like $20 extra, and you can fill up as many mixed drinks as you'd like. And which is a good, you're like, it seems expensive. And then you realize how much I drank. It was a great investment. Every day there were 3 new mixed drinks at a mixed drink stations throughout the ship. And I would go and fill her up. And
Well, that's kind of nice. I mean,
yeah,
you know, if you drink, that would be nice.
yeah, and then there's like a midnight buffet where you can get like a hamburger at like midnight to 2 a.m. That's kind of cool. Like, isn't it nice to know you can just walk down the hall and get a hamburger anytime? Like, that's kind of cool.
Well, they would have to do that, or they would probably have people bugging the shit out of them all night.
Yeah, and there's
they didn't do that because they wanted to.
No, and there's like a casino and some other stuff. The food wasn't great. I don't know, it was fine. And you have to go get like a special. Yeah, anytime I get on any nautical vehicle, I become Steve. I'm like a Where Steve, WERE Steve. I turn into it. Yeah, he only likes Boz Skaggs and post tell her about it, Billy Joel. None of the good. Is there good Billy Joel? Something else to discuss in the comments.
You like the Kolchak werewolf episode that took place on a singles cruise.
It did. This was not a singles cruise. It was. I was, and then you have to get like a special picture. You have to bring like an outfit and dress up like fancy, and like you get a picture with the captain. Like,
hey man, did they party on that cruise ship?
Yeah, they partied. Like, you want a picture with the captain? And everybody's like, it's a big deal. And I'm like, who am I going to tell in my life that I met the captain of this ship? Like, is he well known for his? It's not like it's like that dude that Tom Hanks played, Sully. It's not like I'm getting my picture with Sully. This is some weird dude on a cruise ship, and everybody was all excited, like waiting in line for it. And I was like, I'm too cynical for this. It's just too bad.
Well, maybe that's what happened to George Kennedy in this movie. He got on the ship and he became Steve.
Yeah.
Well, it was probably a German name.
Yeah.
Whoever it was.
He got on this, he became Dieter. And he was like, oh, I don't know where I am. Ich likes me. And he was on the ship. Yeah, I don't know.
Why doesn't someone tell them it's not going to do any good for them to scream at us in German?
This movie made me not. Both movies tonight really confirmed to me that I should never get on another ship ever. The only other ship I've ever been on, 2 summers ago, one of my wife's friends' boyfriend at the time, no longer, maybe longer, had a pontoon boat, and they said, we're going to go out fishing on the Mon, the Monongahela. If you're not from Pittsburgh, we're going to go out fishing on the Mon, and we have to all meet at 7 a.m. on a Sunday.
Oh, what?
That's when I go to bed.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Hey, Ghost Eyes from the UK says he just picked up a few issues of the zine. Love them. Thanks, Ghost Eyes. Thanks for watching the show too.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, I had to go on this, and I said, if this pontoon boat breaks down, because it wasn't starting before we even got in the water, I said, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
And it did.
Oh my god, it did. Yeah, right outside of McKeesport.
How'd they rescue you?
Someone had to get a hitch, like a tow thing, and they towed us the whole way back, and it took like 6 hours to tow us back. And it was like almost dark when we got back. Nobody caught anything. You know what food they brought? Someone brought a ring. Now you're in a ring sandwich. Someone brought like a sandwich, like a small sandwich, and like some Doritos. That was it. That's all the food. They said, we're going to catch some fish. We're going to cook the fish on the fucking boat. Come on, guys.
That's the dumbest day I've ever heard.
Oh my God. It was the worst day of my life. And I said, this is what I said. Can we stop at Dollar General afterwards? Because I think that would like make up for it. No, it didn't. I didn't find any DVDs. But anyway, a horrible trip. Every time I see that lake of water, the Monongahela Lake of Water, the Monongahela River, every time I see it on that side, when I go over that bridge, I'm like, oh. Matt has said this like 3 times, so I want to call this out. This feels like something that we need to know.
Yeah, this is all those people. I was so sorry for those people.
Yeah,
because they were they had no idea, and I forgot it was a masquerade party. Not only did you have to pack your clothes for the trip, you have to pack a Halloween costume.
What is
That's
this, Terror Train?
yeah, that's
I
commitment.
get it for Terror Train. Like we know. No, I don't.
They're not going to stay there all night though. Like they're not sleeping over on the train.
In Canada, do people dress up in costumes? Is it like costume thing for New Year's Eve?
I would love it if that were true.
Yeah.
That I've always felt that there has to be more masquerade parties during the year. Halloween isn't enough. There has to be another reason for you to do it. Like they did.
What if the New Year's party next year was a masquerade party, Bill?
Well, wasn't it that way at the Overlook Hotel for July 4th or something?
For July 4th, the July 4th party at the Overlook, where somebody lives for the rest of their life, or for eternity, I should say.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. Fucking Overlook. Anyways.
Hey, yeah, I was on the Making Tarantino, the podcast this week. The episode just came out today or yesterday. Sorry. Yesterday, today, who knows? Host Philip Duke and I talked about Big Wednesday from 1978. William Catt, Jan Michael Vincent, Gary Busey, and Barbara Hale from the Giant Spider Invasion. Vance! She plays one of their mothers, and it's ridiculous the kind of abuse her house takes during these crazy parties that these surfers have.
These young surfers.
Where they fight, and that's how they communicate, is by fighting. They break shit.
Gosai said that he or she, sorry, I don't mean to misgender you, just watched Thundercrack, which was, I want to show Thundercrack on the show because I don't think people are going to enjoy it at all, and I kind of like that about it. It also has I love that it has a intermission with like 10 minutes left in the movie. It goes like 2 hours. There's an intermission. You think, is there more movie? No, there's only like 10 more minutes. Pretty good.
Well, they wanted you to get your thoughts together before the climax.
Yeah. And there's a lot of climaxes in that movie too. Pause. Anywho, let us know in the chat if you enjoyed Death Ship. Looks like a lot of you did. And also let us know, have you seen Uninvited before? Are you prepared for a movie where sometimes a cat is as big as a person? Sometimes it's a regular cat. Sometimes it looks like Garfield. Sometimes it's a soft sculpture kind of thing.
Anything can happen with this cat.
Yeah.
Cats were harmed during the making of Uninvited. So they may have suffered a few indignities, but they weren't harmed.
This cat does not have this movie on its IMDb, right? It's like, I wasn't in that. I was in, I've been in a few movies, but not this one. The cat, I don't believe, is trained. There's a lot of slow motion cat jumping down off deck chairs. So there's that, but I like this movie. And I think it's just because the idea that it even exists is probably why. Because I can just imagine people getting this because it's got great like art on it, right?
For the man who brought you Without Warning.
Yeah. You know what? Here's my review. The first sentence of my review of this. I said, I love George Kennedy. I want to state for the record that he deserved way better than this film, which is a total piece of shit. That said, I love pieces of shit, and that's what I watch all the time. So, Genetic Laboratories creates a poisonous mutant cat that lives inside of the body of a house cat. Why would they do this? Right? As you watch this movie, ask yourself, who these fucking scientists?
Somebody thought it was a good idea, but if they had only asked us, don't you feel that way sometimes? I could have told you that was going to go wrong.
That one girl I dated that you pulled me aside high and said, she's really boring.
I don't remember saying
oh my God. It was hilarious because it was like great. Like you said, I have to tell you something really important. And we were at Ryan's house.
What?
And I walked around the corner and I said, yeah. And you said, that girl's really boring. And you're probably not going to have good sex with her. And I said, okay, thank you. And then that was it. And I said, and I had to go back to the party with this in my head. Anyways.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry I said that to you.
No, you totally were right. But she experimented on bug brains. She was a professor of bug brains. There's a title for this, but come on.
That makes her sound interesting.
Yeah, she had bug tattoos all over her too. She had like 90%.
I take that back.
No, you're fine. Don't worry.
Are
It
you
worked
sure
out.
I was serious? I mean,
You
you know
said
how
you
I
said
say
more,
things.
You said more too, but I can't say it on the air.
Oh, I remember why I didn't like her. It had nothing to do with her being boring.
Why didn't you like
She
her?
said some nasty shit about you.
What did she say about me?
Oh, I'm not going to say it on the air.
What is nasty?
I'll tell you during the break.
Oh my god! Now I need to know. Oh man.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about who's in this movie. Alex Cord.
Yeah. From Chosen Survivors.
Yeah, and also Michael Goldsmith Briggs III from Airwolf. Speaking of shows that came after Knight Rider and Blue Thunder that are the same thing. Yeah, there's also George Kennedy, Clu Gulliger, Bert from Return of the Living Dead. Austin Stoker's in this.
Yeah.
And Rob Estes from TV's Silk Stockings. And God, if you watched wrestling in the 90s, you always held up signs that said, after Raw, watch Silk Stockings. That's how you got on TV. Thank you, entomologist. That's what she was. But yeah, this has a Graydon Clark also directed Joysticks, Wacko, and Satan's Cheerleaders.
We did that on the show.
We did. And Becca looked at the this movie for about 2 seconds, and she said, "Is that a stuffed cat?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Okay," and just walked out. So yeah, not a movie. Look at this cat. The cat that is the real cat in this movie looks a lot like a cat I used to have named Harley, and that makes me wistful. Probably why I like this movie. Yeah. Someone said we need Elon Musk on our show.
Do we?
Do we? Is he gonna wrap his son around his head like he's from the Dead Zone, so he doesn't get shot? Anyways, I can't say anymore.
He does look like Christopher Walken could play him.
He does
in the movie.
His body's weird too. He looks like this is a comic book reference, but he looks like Rob Liefeld drew him. Is like his chest is really big, and like his other parts of his body aren't. He looks like a cubist painting. How about that? That'll work for everybody. Anyways, as you can see from the clips from this movie, it is baffling.
I don't understand anything about this movie, really.
I would advise if you're going to take an edible or if you're going to whatever your drug of choice is, I would take it right now. I would be ready to peak right when this cat shows up, and you're going to just love it. Look at that cat sauntering out. I like when cats are often the bad guys in movies because they're jerks. And I have 2 cats. I love them both, but in their own way, they're both jerks. You know?
They can be.
Yeah, but I love them for that. Sure. I wish that this was a J&B bottle here and he was drinking J&B, but he's not. It's just a green bottle. We could hope. But yeah, this is more fun than Death Ship. It's more of a unless you're a dog. And then you're like, I don't like cats. So, you know. So
that old stereotype again.
It is. They made 3 movies, Cats versus Dogs. Remember those where the dogs and cats could talk? And I was really upset when it came out because the dogs were the good guys and the cats were the bad guys. And now I'm like, yeah, sure. The difference between cats and dogs, if I can say, Bill, my theory on cats and dogs is that cats do not need you. They can make it. They don't need you. A dog, oh my God, it needs you all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cubby needs care all the time. He needs someone with him a lot. So he's more like a son to me.
Aw.
He is. He's my boy.
Sweet.
We listen to podcasts together at night. I get him. I put him in his little bed and we listen to podcasts together and we talk about him. Ghost Eyes asked, do we show the movies here on YouTube? No, we show them on it's up to you to find them and watch them, and then we come back and we watch them. We talk about the movies together after it's over. I do know that Uninvited is on. I don't know if you get Tubi over there in the UK. It's on Tubi, and it is also on YouTube.
If Ghost Eyes is in the UK, then I don't know if they're going to be able to. I mean, we do post a link on Groovy Doom where you can, or you can just go on Tubi and look it up.
Or YouTube. I think Tubi is in the UK now. Jen Upton told us that.
Oh, okay.
So, but I don't know if they have all the same stuff. All I know about
I
the
know
UK,
Eldon's in Canada, and
yeah,
sometimes he can't see the movies, and a couple other people who are in the chat are from Canada too, and then they can't watch it.
Phil says
So,
it's on Amazon Prime too, if that helps you.
oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All I know about the UK is Judge Dredd, so I'm probably not going to be able to help you that well. But anyways, oh, and I know music too, but that's about it. Bill, I have to tell you before we start this movie, there's a new YouTube video I watched the other day. It's 30 songs from the 80s that you might not know. Guess who was the first thing shown in it?
What?
Pete Burns.
Of course.
I started laughing. I was like, I'm going to save this for New Year's. This feels like a New Year's.
But it was You Spin Me Round, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
What was it?
I don't know.
You
I don't
know?
know their songs well. I'll send it to you so you can enjoy it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Unfortunately, I knew like almost all the other songs on it. I was like, but Blue Murder was on it. Come on. So, anyways, excited to watch this. It looks like we will not have ads for this movie, but there will be some ads for other movies that may not be connected. But that's what I'm excited about. You pulled some cat ads together.
Yeah, I just pulled up some cat horror movies.
Love it.
Not an exhaustive representation of the
No.
genre, but yeah, Uninvited was not released theatrically.
No.
There's probably a collective sigh of relief around the world because of that. But if it was, I couldn't find it. It might have come out in the UK.
It did come out on video in a lot of other countries, and there's
Yeah.
different box art in every country. The
It
German
was late
box art
enough.
is red. Yeah.
Yeah, it was late enough in the 80s that it could have just gone direct to video.
Yeah.
I think 89 was
I'm
when this movie.
a big fan of Curse of the Werewolf when I was a kid, just because it was different. And like I loved like when he had like his shirt all ripped up. I thought it was good.
Some people have been receiving their copies of the new issue that they ordered, so that's cool. Sorry to everybody that got in the second wave that went out.
Yeah.
I was able to go to the post office earlier this week, and then I had to wait till today to go. So sorry about that.
Have you seen Shadow of the Cat? I have.
Yeah.
Not seen it. Is it good?
Shadow of the Cat's great. It's got one of those houses with staircases that go
Ooh.
up and down and up and down, and you're like, where the fuck are they in this house?
I love
But
it.
yeah, it's good.
Huh.
Shadow of the Cat. It was the second half of this double feature. There's another one, Night of a Thousand Cats.
Yeah. If you like cats, maybe this is not the movie for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proceed with caution.
Yeah. There's burial insurance though. So you get burial insurance if you die from fright or nausea. Has anyone ever died from nausea?
Well, probably not. So they felt confident in insuring you.
I like that this is on West Coast only.
I don't see it. On West Coast only?
Yeah, look at the bottom of the burial insurance. Casket optional on West Coast only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What?
So wait, yeah. Oh, you only got a casket if you were on the West Coast. I see.
Renee Cardona is like, look, I'm not involved with this. I just made this movie with Hugo. Like, and this is it. Speaking of Hugo, if you like Hugo, good news. Just saying, you might be really pleased soon. But that's all.
How much do you love that Anjanette Comer is in this?
I do love it.
From The Baby.
From The Baby, yeah. I like the idea of Night of a Thousand Cats, and it's a movie I really want to go to and watch again. So yeah.
We are based out of the Western Pennsylvania area.
Yeah. Pittsburgh area.
Pittsburgh and Monongahela.
Yeah. Ooh, the cats. Step aside, Hitchcock.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think this is actually a retitle of Corpse Grinders.
Yeah. What is Night Legs?
Night Legs. Oh, I'm glad you asked. I didn't even notice that was hiding down there.
Yeah.
Night Legs is an alternate title, and it's a Susan George movie.
Ooh.
One where she played a terrorized babysitter.
Ooh.
Do you remember what movie that was?
No.
Fright.
Fright. Night Legs is such a weird name for a movie.
I know.
It sounds like something. It sounds like two things. It sounds like something like a malady that a mom would say, like, "Oh, I had the night legs last night," but it's not. It also sounds like a position. It also sounds like a position.
Mine went to the second option.
Yeah, I gave her the night legs. Oh,
the night legs.
The night legs. Everybody knew it was Fright. Wow. But most importantly, let's scare Jessica to death at the drive-in. Come on, that's great.
You can scare her to death at the drive-in. You can scare her to death in the grindhouse.
Yeah, a lot of movies.
The dollar cinema.
There's a lot of movies that have been using "Let's Scare Jessica to Death" as a touchstone. Like that was an influence. And then you watch the movies, the modern ones, and you're like, I don't think they watched it. But
it sounded good in the.
It sounded good. It sounded like we're doing something. Like oh, and when I read that, I'm like, I'll watch it. They get me every time. I love the uncanny. I do.
A movie that didn't even get released in the United States.
Mm-mm.
This is from Canada.
Yeah, Severin put it out on Blu-ray. That's where I got mine.
But this cast, Samantha Eggar's in there. Oh my god!
I mean, that's it. That's all you had to tell me. And you're like, hey, Donald Pleasance is in it too. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I'm good with Samantha Eggar. Like Peter Cushing too. Like,
there won't be any dreadful hand in this movie, will there?
Yeah, she's like, with the cats. Oh, the cats. Oh, the cats. Did she bring?
I would love to ask her about this movie. Like, she would be so mad if you asked her about this movie.
This is why we don't get to interview people, because all our questions would be about these movies, nothing about anything positive they've done. And it would be like, oh, did you bring your own clothes to the uncanny, or did they provide clothes? Because I really think Samantha Eggar did all her own clothes.
We don't like any of those.
I don't like these. I brought a camise. I don't know. Something. She brought her own little sweater. Killer. Wow. Mike says Killer Cat movie is not his because his mom's a cat hoarder. Maybe that's why. That maybe you just don't. Yeah. Well, you do have Wally. Maybe you're just worried that Wally will turn on you.
I love the terror font too.
Yeah. It's nice. That R is like dripping blood. Oh, I love it. I love this movie. Yeah. It's good.
Is it? I don't know.
You never seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I like it. I think it came out at the right time for me. How about that? That's what I'll say.
It was okay. I mean, yeah, I guess I didn't hate it.
I like the end because that little weird thing goes into a fan and it's kind of gory. That's kind of cool part.
This has real Milton Subotsky cred.
Yeah.
And never mind that it's Stephen King stories.
Yeah.
Milton Subotsky put this together, helped.
Do you know what the name of the cat is?
Oh God. Not Ranger.
General.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is it as good as Sleepwalkers?
Oh.
Someone.
No.
I did a whole podcast about Sleepwalkers the other day. I have no idea what the fuck that movie is about. I know what it's about, but I also know like what? So they're cat people and they're incestuous, but they can only be stopped by cats. Okay. Like Stephen King was just like, I mean, look at this though. Come on. Right? Come on.
Showstopper.
Oh my God. With the 20th Century Fox logo on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No getting away from it this time. Remember they invented that fake distributor, International Classics, when they put out Suspiria.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they felt all like high and mighty because they had Star Wars.
You know what? They were ready to go out of business. This poster is awesome. This is great. Oh my God. Death. Oh, I love this movie so much.
She has a face like that motorcyclist in Tales from the Crypt.
She does.
Was behind the one guy.
Yeah. I don't, is this my favorite Argento? I don't know. It might be right now. Right now it is. That could change in any minute. Sometimes every once in a while I take a little break.
10 minutes.
I take a little 10-minute break to myself and I rank my favorite Argentos just for me. And then I go back to my day. I just get back to my day and I say Inferno is number one right now, but coming up behind Phantom of the Opera. Nope. No, never. Yeah, you're in the right show right now then if you love ads.
Right on.
But this ad, oh my God, I could just look at this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know what this movie was about. but
I mean, you
who
could watch
cares?
it 10 times and not know what
I
this
still
movie's
don't know
about.
what it's
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
but I love it. Yeah, I want
Anyway,
to
it's
go
not
back.
really. It's not really a killer cat movie, but
There
there
are
is one
cats.
scene.
There,
Yeah.
yeah. I would like to go back to college just in the hopes that when I was at a lecture, I would look over and a girl would be sitting holding a cat in her lap.
This impossibly exotic and
Oh.
beautiful woman holding a cat right in the middle of the lecture.
Right in the middle of the lecture, and then she drives by you. Okay, and we never come back to it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Nancy Kwan, Donald Pleasance. Nice.
Yeah, this is the one where Donald Pleasance likes to release a panther on his
Yeah.
little island to murder people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that face is from though. Like I have a Messiah of Evil ad where
Yeah.
it's retitled Night of the Damned, and that is clipped and pasted into that ad. So maybe
Wow.
this was a homemade paste up for Night
Yeah.
Creature.
It certainly could be. At the Longleaf Cinema 1 and 2.
Yeah, Vince remembers that Darkroom episode where the old woman turned into her cat and vice versa.
Yeah. Mm.
Speaking of cat people, here's some fire to put out with gasoline.
With gasoline, yeah. You know, I heard that in Gecko the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, and I love when I'm in a gas station and I hear the theme song from Cat People. I was like literally just running around the store dancing. I was like, what is going on? Like, this is just for me, right? Like, yeah. Part of me likes this movie. I know it's nowhere near as good as the original, but it's audacious. It's audacious and it's stylish, and yeah, it's cool. I wanted to see it really bad when I was, because it came out when I was like 9. So I wanted to be like an adult and go see it. I'm like, oh, I should go see it. Natasha Kinski never had any problems with her father. They had a great relationship.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, you know.
I mean, her father had a problem with every other human being he came into contact with. So
yeah. Except her.
Well, anyway, there was Cat People, the remake. I think that was 82 when that came out. So here's the Ridge, which I love.
Simone, the star. Simon. I always say it wrong. The star of this was married to the writer of Night Train to Terror, and he supposedly never got over her. And that's why he treated every one of his wives horribly. And supposedly the second story in Night Train is based on their relationship somewhat. I would love were that true. I prefer the sequel to Cat People, Bill. I really love the sequel to Cat People.
Yeah, I love Curse of the Cat People. It's really good.
It's great. Like if it wasn't called Curse of the Cat People, people would, I think it was like some kind of classic. Do you know what I mean? And instead it's like, it's kind of like a cash-in name, but yeah, I love it. I like that the Andrews Sisters was the second movie on that feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what? So we need to make these head guys, that little guy down in the left corner, for every contributor to the zine from now on. We need to draw those.
It looks like Alfred E. Newman, sort of.
It does. What, me worry? This is Pittsburgh, huh? The Stanley.
It is indeed. The Cat Creeps. It was a mystery thriller.
Helen Twelvetrees, the Orange Star of Herman, appears in The Cat Creeps.
She had so many trees.
Pittsburgh's Smiling Lowry will be here with his grab bag.
What?
That's what it says.
I was trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's Smiling Lowry. It's another Lowry triumph, featuring the gal encore Peggy Burnett. Is this like a local movie that played with it, or did they do like a stage show before? I wonder. Because sometimes
it might have been a stage show. Yeah.
And
that was pretty old. The Cat Creeps.
Yeah. Love it. Oh man.
I'm not sure I've seen this movie.
Really? Oh.
Looks like Liberace.
Mm-hmm. Then you could go up to the William Penn and see what do you call it? Tiny Bubbles up there. That's probably a couple years after this. That
Ed Lowry, Pittsburgh Smiling Ed Lowry in Crab Bag. Oh, of course, if he's from Pittsburgh, we're gonna say that. as loud and as often as we can.
Yeah. Oh, I knew that Ed Lowry. I'm going to look up Pittsburgh smiling Ed Lowry. And I know he's going to be like a serial killer or something now.
Every time George Benson appears at our theater, we get people calling for weeks and weeks asking for tickets to see Georgie Benson, and they tell you a story about how they knew him when he was growing up. So I wonder if that kind of thing followed Ed Lowry.
It did. There's nothing on Google about him at all. Oh wait, here we go.
He got sick of the limelight and he left.
Here he is. He was from New York. If it's this Ed Lowry, he was born in 1896, and this one was in The House of Mystery, a movie called Well Cured Ham, and another short called The Kid Snatchers. This is not him because he's not in a movie called Grab Bag. What if I looked up Grab Bag? Now I need to know everything about Ed Lowry. What if he's like my great grandfather and I'm making fun of him? Grab Bag. Oh, the Grab Bag Bride? No, there is no Grab Bag on IMDb. This is probably a stage show. Anyways, Ed Lowry, a piece of Pittsburgh history.
Well, think about Ed.
Yeah,
Lowry.
he started the steak restaurant Lowry's in Dallas, where I had a 60-ounce cotton bowl steak once. And let me tell you, don't make the mistakes. Don't get the 60-ounce cotton bowls. You'll be sick. Yeah. Looks like we're about to make a drink with me.
Yeah, let's do the drink segment.
Hello. Wait, hold on a second. We did 2 ounces? Yes. Yes, 2 ounces. Good. Okay. Well, behind the scenes. But guess what? George Kennedy's back. He's on a boat again. This time, he's fighting a cat. An evil cat. I don't think the cat's evil. I want to dispel that. It's a demonic cat that lives inside another cat, but that cat's pretty awesome. He looks like a cat I used to have named Harley. So this movie's near and dear to my heart. We're talking about Uninvited. We're talking about our next drink. George Kennedy Fights a Cat. I think that's a great name for a drink. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. Simply watermelon. Simply the watermelon, better than all the rest. It's a cup of this. This is watermelon juice. You can make watermelon juice yourself if you want, but guess what? It's not in season right now. This is March. I guess it is. Watermelon always in season? I don't know these things. I'm a doctor, writer, not movie thing, not a farmer. We got that. We got 2 ounces of vodka. We got some lime juice, and we got some honey just to sweeten the pot. I had a long talk with my wife earlier about why do bears like honey. She said, the honeycomb. And I said, okay, here we go. Let's put in that. I'm so excited to try this drink. I bought this Simply Watermelon earlier this week, and I said, I'm going to make, it really feels like a movie about a killer cat demands a watermelon flavored drink. And we will call it George Kennedy Fights a Cat. Finally. A little bear. I want to be sponsored by this bear. I'm like, when you think about honey, think about this bear. Right. Here we go. Much like me, a bear, this thing farts before it does anything for you.
Slow, too.
Slow. It's slow and messy, and it talks a lot. Here we go. Doesn't make no sense, that bear. I started this drink by spilling ice all over the counter, and my wife just went, poo. Look at that. Look at that.
Pretty.
Look at that. This is a perfect drink to drink. George Kennedy, the ghost of George Kennedy appears and has a Schaefer beer next to me, along with a breath of shore, and he says, go for it, Sam. And I say thank you. And here we go. Pazuzu. This drink is amazing. Oh my God. I feel like I'm at Applebee's or something, but better.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Eating good in the neighborhood. Baby Chili's is back. Baby Pazuzu is back.
Date night at the Applebee's.
I don't know all the words to that. He did make my new iced tea at Morgan Wallen.
It's not that guy.
Who is it?
You asked me last night if Morgan Wallen was like Teddy Wallen. I'm like, who?
I don't make a lot of sense. I think anybody that watches this show understands I don't make a lot of sense. This drink, however, makes all the sense in the world. And this is going to be my summer drink. They better...
Enjoy.
Huh?
Enjoy.
Enjoy savoir faire.
as we take an Uninvited, a movie about drug dealers fighting a cat.
Pazuzu.
Pazuzu.
Cheers
Cheers.
to all of you. And thanks very much for joining us on our second segment of the program this evening. I know we had some technical difficulties in the first, but so far so good for this one.
It's exciting. We have people from all over the world. Jenny's in Japan still, and we have Ghost Eyes from the UK. We got Phil out in Phoenix. We're all over. We're in many time zones, and
yeah,
and we're gonna turn the clock back tonight if you're in the US.
Yeah, it's already 1 a.m.
Yeah,
1:10 actually.
Yeah, but or we turn the clock. Well, we jump forward, jump ahead.
We jump forward. Yeah, we're losing
ahead.
an hour tonight.
Oh my God, time is a construct, Bill. Let me tell you, it doesn't exist, and but it does.
Yeah, and I hate it.
Yeah,
I mean the time change. I don't want to deal with it.
No, but on the other hand, it'll be light out longer, and I can jog longer. So that's, I guess, is that good? That's good.
That's good. Yeah, but
yeah,
I'd rather live real. You know.
Yeah. Well, there's. Yeah, I know. But do we ever know? Does anybody really know what time it is? Can anybody really know what time?
Janis Joplin. It's all the same fucking day, man.
Yeah, that was from Chicago. Going to Chicago this week, Bill, and guess what? Nothing's playing on the day that I'm there. I looked at all the theaters. How excited! There's all these theaters there. Nothing. So, yeah, I'm gonna go to dinner with somebody who's usually in the chat. Chris Erickson is gonna go. We're gonna go grab some dinner. And,
Chris Two Sheds Erickson.
Yes, and we're probably going to talk about Mr. Show and Jess Franco movies, as we often do. That's probably what we'll talk about, and the Jerky Boys. This is all we ever talk about. My wife's like, "Do you guys have been friends for 25 years? Do you ever get tired about talking about the same stuff every day?" And I say, "No, we really don't. We really don't. We talk about. Do Bill and I get tired of talking about Let's Scare Jessica to Death or calling movies the alternate titles because it makes us giggle? No, we don't. Do I ever find it old whenever Bill says, "Did you get Come Teach Me on Blu-ray yet?" And I say, yes, I did.
Come teach me. I want to get that movie Blood Relations on Blu-ray. Foul play.
Not
the 1978 Goldie Hawn epic.
I want to be. This is how we're gonna go. By the way, I'd like to congratulate Jen Upton she has 2 nominations for the award for the Rondo Awards for 2 books that she's been part of. Bill, this is my plan for next year. This is how we get into the Rondo Awards. Are you ready? Is like we got to start being like really snarky and shitty about stuff. And people are like, "Have you seen Friday the 13th?" And we're like, "Do you mean The Orphan?" And we just will not. We will not talk to them. I will not discuss Jason Voorhees with you. I will only talk about The Orphan.
I want to talk about the intersection between Friday the 13th films and Italian art house pictures.
Yes. I would like to talk about In Media Res and just about the psychosexual upsettedness of Ernest Scared Stiff. And I think that will get us through. Yeah.
No, 10 years. It's going to be 10 years that I've been in print with Drive and Asylum this year. I started in 2015. And I'm real happy with where it is now. Like, could more people buy it? Sure. But, the people that do buy it seem to be really into it. Never once has anybody ever nominated Drive and Asylum for a Rondo. But I've been like bringing, the stuff that we bring is essential. We go out and get interviews with people that are in movies that, people don't talk about, like your George Barry interview. Nobody, I mean, he's appeared in other magazines before, but that was some time ago, I think. Like nobody's had him in print recently. And this is, so this is what we do. That's the reward.
The reward is the fun of watching movies and watching these shows with you guys every week. Also, I'd like to announce that I've been sober for about an hour and I'm working hard on it, my sobriety. I'm waiting for this to unfreeze. I froze I chilled it too long for the watermelon drink. So once that heats up, we'll get back to where I should be. So, I'm excited to watch this movie again. Let us know in the comments if you've watched it or not. Bill, you've seen this before, though, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I've seen this a
Yeah.
couple of times.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Teases for next episode. When's the next episode? It's in 2 weeks, correct?
2 weeks, March 22nd.
March 22nd.
Her
And
from Fright Lounge and East Meets the West podcast will be on the show.
yes. And both movies are somewhat in the same genre, but one is not. If you ask the director, he would be very upset to be in that genre. I guess that's a way of saying it. And
Should we do the Z word?
maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, but one of them, actually both of them, are Sam movies that I love, and they're both pretty junky in the best of ways. Especially one of them super junky, and that's why I love it. Like it's almost relentless. As David Gregory said when I read him, it's a really dumb movie, but it's a really good movie. It's like it's almost relentlessly dumb, and that's why I like it. So pretty excited. So that'll be in 2 weeks, and of course, I see Daryl said he asked Sean Cunningham if he ever heard of Jawa films. Of course not. Of course, he never saw Bay of Blood.
Oh right.
Yeah, never.
Oh, what monster could have seen this?
One monster could have seen a Bay of Blood. It's just this place and the storm. Yeah. Hey, the other big news this week, I saw someone mention it earlier. Yeah. Looker and Hot Summer in Big Barefoot County. That's next week's movies. I don't know if you saw Prom Night 2, 3, and 4 coming out.
Ooh.
And supposedly Fright Night 2, which has never made the jump from DVD. These are all big things to me.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Friday Night 2, it's actually, we've done that on the show too. Roger was fun for that one.
Yeah, and there's been like a 2K scan of it for a long time. So that's what was running on cable. But for some reason, who knows? The rights of that are kind of weird too, because it was live entertainment and what's his name died. So there's some weird stuff. But it's cool. Next week's movies are let me think. What would be the worst double feature I could put you guys through?
Yeah, they were probably movies that you were a little surprised when you rented them.
Yeah,
in the 1980s and saw what they are.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good double feature. Looker is a really good one. I was gonna say
love Looker.
Tattoo and The Island will be next week's movies.
The Island. I fucking love The Island. I am too Barb.
I know you love The Island, so that's one that I do want to show just because you love it. Saturn 3 and The Island is Bill's double feature.
Oh my god. Ultra 1980.
Ultra 1980 HBO failure in the box office, success on HBO, double feature.
And it's a real shame that those movies failed at the box office because each one is a work of genius.
I wanted to see Saturn 3 so bad when I was a kid because the robot looked so cool in it because he didn't have a head. And my mom's like, well, that movie's dirty, so you're not going to get to see it. Because
she was right. Because
Farrah Fawcett's dirty pillows are in it.
It was totally dirty.
Is it?
Well, it was. You were supposed to, ogle Farrah.
Yeah.
And I think there was something that they cut out of it too, like a scene where they take drugs. They take ecstasy together.
I thought there was like an insert scene that they took out.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No, but Kirk Douglas directed a scene, it was Kirk Douglas. For a minute, I questioned my sanity. He took over as director for a day. And the scene he wanted to work on was a scene where he had to have his hand on Farrah Fawcett's ass.
Yeah.
For an entire day. And he's like, nope, we got to do it again. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
That's the kind of movie Saturn 3 is.
Was he the foreign investor for that movie?
He was for a day.
For a day. Foreign investor for a day. Oh, what a magical job to have. Yeah, it's Damnation Alley followed by Damnation Alley. And then the next
Run in reverse.
The next movie is Damnation Alley again. But the Super 8 version of Damnation Alley. And,
Yeah, Harvey Keitel is dubbed in Saturn 3.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I think he refused to come back for ADR.
I love that.
There was some kind of drama, and he wouldn't come back and do the ADR, so they dubbed him. Or maybe
There
that's
was-
Sam Jones that I was thinking of.
There's one movie that Katherine Heigl was in when she first got, when she was going to be a star, and they had her ADR the whole movie. She did it in one of the studios I was working at. And she was up there for like 10 hours redubbing the whole movie, and everybody felt bad for her. I guess she was actually pretty nice. And I'm always like, wow, like in Pittsburgh, no less, they did her ADR here over the phone. Oh, rough.
And she was mean.
I heard she was really nice. That's what I was told. Viola Davis also looped Suicide Squad here in Pittsburgh. So that's kind of cool. That's about it. That's about it.
Shit happens in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Night of the Living Dead and Dogma.
Let's go watch Uninvited, shall we?
Shall we? Thanks everybody for coming out, and please come back. We'll see you guys in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to see at least 8 of you back for the 3rd segment. Hopefully more than that. So go watch Uninvited and go hug the cat in your life.
Bring the cat out with you to watch this.